Hi, it's Ali from Inspiralized, and today we're in my kitchen and we are making my open-faced summer bruschetta omelette with spiralized zucchini. This is a beautiful omelet for one that uses all ingredients that you can find at your local summer farmer's market. The omelet is actually infused with those zucchini noodles as they cook really beautifully, and those little noodles kind of pop out, and then there's a nice bruschetta topping. We're going to actually add a little goat cheese to this one for some sweetness and creaminess, and it's just the ideal summer breakfast. So before we get started, we're going to go over the ingredients that you'll need to make this recipe. We're going to need 3 beaten eggs, and that's obviously going to form our omelet, about 1/2 of a medium zucchini that we're going to spiralize. I chopped up about 5 cherry tomatoes. I just halved them, but if you like more tomatoes, you could use more or less, totally up to you. Some chopped basil, about 1/4 cup. 1 minced garlic clove, about 1 tablespoon of crumbled goat cheese, and then we have 1 tablespoon each of red wine vinegar and extra virgin olive oil to help with that bruschetta. And I also have olive oil cooking spray, so when we make that omelet, we are not going to use any extra olive oil. We're just going to use some cooking spray. And of course, you're going to need a spiralizer to make this dish. So now that we have all of our ingredients ready to go, we can start by spiralizing our zucchini. So I'm going to take the Inspiralizer here and secure it to the countertop with the counter clamps. And then I actually already have it set on blade D, which is the thinnest spaghetti blade. So I'm going to grab my already halved zucchini, and I'm just going to spiralize. Take the handle. And if you didn't want really thick chunks of zucchini here, you could spiralize a little slower and with much less pressure, and you'll get a thinner sort of angel hair-like pasta noodle. Totally up to you. All right, so once we have our zucchini noodles, we can start to build our omelet. So I actually already have a medium skillet that's been heating over about medium-high heat. My medium skillet is already heated over that medium-high heat, and I'm just going to take a little bit of cooking spray, spray the bottom of the pan. You can already see it sizzling. That means it's definitely ready. And we're just going to add in the zucchini. Now, it might look like a lot of zucchini for an omelet, but as you know, if you cook spiralized veggies, the zucchini is going to wilt and become about 1/4 less of the size. So I'm just going to toss that together. And here you could also add additional seasonings to the zucchini noodles to add extra flavor into the omelet. You could add some oregano or basil or garlic powder, but I'm just going to keep it nice and simple, and I'm just going to add a little bit of pepper. And it's important not to ever salt zucchini noodles because, as you know, if you cook zucchini noodles, they immediately start to release their liquid once they hit the heat, so you don't want soggy noodles. So we just keep it simple with some pepper. Okay. And I'm just going to let these sit and toss every once in a while until they're fully cooked and wilted. Now, if you don't like zucchini or you're making this dish in the winter, you could do any spiralized veggie you want. It goes really nice with golden beets. Goes really nice with turnip I'm going to redo that one. So if you don't like zucchini or you're making this in the winter time, then you could use any spiralized vegetable you'd like. I love using sweet potatoes in omelets. I love butternut squash in omelets. You could even do golden beets. Whatever season it is, whatever your preference is, just substitute the spiralized veggie. So the key here is cooking all the noodles until they're wilted and none of them really stick out or none of them are too crunchy. And we're pretty much there. I'm going to lower the heat a little bit so we don't burn those eggs. And now that these are all cooked, what you want to do is spread the noodles out in the pan. And we do this so that your omelet is complete with noodles and there's not one side that has more noodles or less, so each bite is exactly the same. I'm just going to spread them out with my pasta tongs. And once that's done, we can add in our egg. So I'm going to grab the egg here and just pour evenly over. And then as you would with an omelet, just kind of shake the pan a little bit to make sure that the egg coats the entire omelet. And I'm going to now add in my crumbled goat cheese. Goat cheese can be a little messy, so just crumble it best you can and sort of top this. Now, when I made this recipe for my blog, I didn't actually include any cheese, but I found some really great goat cheese at the farmer's market the other weekend, so I decided to add it in. Gives it a little extra flavor, a little extra protein, but if you don't eat cheese, obviously you could omit it. You could use feta if you don't like goat cheese. Just kind of put as much in there as you would like and try to evenly crumble it in. Okay. Now we're gonna let that set a little bit, and once the bottom is set, I'm actually gonna cover it and cook it until the eggs settle and they're cooked and they're a beautiful spiralized omelet. Now that our omelet is cooking, it looks like the bottom of the omelet has set. That's exactly what we want. Once you see that bottom of the omelet set, you can put the cover on, and we're just gonna cook that for about 5 minutes until the eggs set and the noodles are all cooked within the eggs. And meanwhile, we're gonna create our bruschetta topping. Now while that omelet is cooking, you're gonna add all your ingredients into a medium mixing bowl. So we have our halved cherry tomatoes, we have our fresh basil. I'm a basil girl, so I added a lot, but if you don't like big chunks of basil, then you could do less. Okay, and then I have 1 minced garlic clove because I'm also a garlic girl. So I'm gonna add in a full garlic clove minced. If you don't like your garlic minced, you could slice it, you could omit it, you could put less. It won't be a true bruschetta, but you can do whatever you want because you're gonna be the one eating this. And then I have a tablespoon of olive oil. And if you're watching your calories, your fat intake, and you're being cautious, you could do a little bit less, maybe a teaspoon or 2. And then I have a tablespoon of red wine vinegar. So if you adjust your olive oil, make sure you adjust your red wine vinegar as well so that it's not too tangy. And then I'm just gonna take a spoon and mix this all together. And now I'm just gonna season with some salt and pepper, some fresh kosher salt, some freshly cracked pepper always, and then give that one final toss. So my bruschetta topping is done. My omelet is just about done. It looks great. So we're just gonna wait for that to finish up. We're gonna plate our omelet and top with the bruschetta. All right, our omelet is done. The way you can tell if your omelet is done is basically if the edges start to kind of stick up and they're a little brown, that means it's perfect. If you like your eggs a little less cooked, just do it how you prefer, but if you want a well-cooked egg omelet, this is the way to go. So now you could totally eat this out of the skillet. You could cut it into pieces and just serve it that way, but I'm actually going to take a spatula and carefully move my omelet into the plate. So what I'm basically doing is just making sure nothing's caught on the bottom of the pan. And I'm just gonna transfer it to the plate. And I promise it'll be that easy for you because it's a well-cooked omelet. And it looks beautiful. It's kind of like a crepe or a really, really thin pancake. And the final step, of course, is to add in that bruschetta that we made. And I can totally see you guys making this after a farmer's market on a Saturday or Sunday. Ah, it's so fresh and so beautiful. And I just add in a little bit of the extra juice from that dressing. And that's it. So there you have it, my summer bruschetta spiralized zucchini omelet. I'm going to now start the best part, which is tasting what I've made. And even though it's not breakfast time, this looks too good not to try. So I'm just gonna actually cut out a little piece and make sure that I get some basil and the tomato in there. Oh, it's so beautiful with the zucchini popping out. It looks so fresh. Just gonna take a little bite. I could eat this every single day for breakfast during the summer. It's amazing. It's packed with veggies, protein, creamy goat cheese, just fresh summer veggies. I love this, and I hope you love it too. Thank you so much for tuning in while I made my fresh summer bruschetta open-faced omelet with spiralized zucchini. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and as always, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you'd like to see when I post future episodes of my Everyday Inspiralized cooking video series. Thank you so much. I hope to see you soon. Bye.